The time is just gone 8:36 a.m. as we continue with the broadcast this morning right here on Salam Media News and Views it is. And it's time now to focus on Malaysia and the appointment of the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Now, we've just learned that breaking news, Anwar Ibrahim has been confirmed as Malaysia's 10th Prime Minister, and the swearing-in ceremony is set to take place this evening. Now, Alhamdulillah, I had the opportunity of interviewing Anwar Ibrahim a number of years ago. I spoke to him when we were with CII Radio, and in fact, it was a very highly inspirational interview, I must add, that I had with Anwar Ibrahim. So there are many memories for me personally. But right now, across, we're going to be joined by Haji Badlishan Sham bin Bahrain Ikram, President, and just trying to understand how the system works in Malaysia in choosing the Prime Minister. Haji Badil Shah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, Jazakallah khairan so much for joining us. Now, obviously, the breaking news is Anwar Ibrahim has been he has been now selected as the Prime Minister of Malaysia. But clearly, looking at the system in Malaysia within which it operates, and we know that there was no majority in Parliament, there were coalition talks that had failed, and the role of the king is so important. And here we're talking about King Al Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah. How important is his role in all of this?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Salam Media for giving me the opportunity to talk or give my thoughts on the recently concluded general elections in Malaysia. Now, the role of the king is enshrined in the Malaysian constitution. The king has the discretion to appoint a prime minister who, in his mind, commands the majority of the MPs in parliament. So this is enshrined in the constitution. So that means likewise in previous elections, whenever the results have already been announced, so the king will then look at the party or the coalition with the most number of seats. Our parliament, the simple majority is 112 seats. If any party or coalition surpasses 112 seats, then that party or coalition will become the ruling party, and a prime minister will be appointed from among the leadership of the coalition or the party. Now, the king has got this power bestowed upon him by the constitution that he has the discretion to choose. So in this case now, the hung parliament, which is the first time first time it happened in Malaysia, never before, whereby no party or coalition managed to surpass the simple majority number of 112 seats. So that's why now the pressure is on the king to be able to appoint somebody whom he thinks, because this also is a part of the constitution, whom he thinks commands the majority of the MPs in the parliament. So as Inayat has mentioned just now, it has already been announced only just about 2 p.m. here in Malaysia. I think it's about 8 a.m. in South Africa. It was announced that the king has consented to appoint Anwar Ibrahim as the 10th Prime Minister. So in all likelihood, because we do not know the details, but in all likelihood, Anwar Ibrahim most probably have already got the number of MPs supporting him to surpass 112 seats. So that's how it's done here in Malaysia, Inayat.
Yes. Now, I think what is also interesting about Malaysia is when one looks at the monarchy and when one looks at the king of Malaysia. Now, not long ago, we saw when the queen had died in England, and she was the longest reigning monarch who reigned for years and years and years. And we see monarchs right across the entire world. This is very, very different in Malaysia because we know that the king is not going to be the king there forever. But this particular king that we are talking about, King Al Sultan Abdullah, he is, I believe, a very down to earth person. And what I found amazing is he was actually seen in a queue at a Kentucky Fried Chicken helping accident victims on a highway.
Yeah, that's right. our system of the system of appointing the king actually is based on rotation in ASEAN. We have 9 sultans. Okay, in our country, we have 9 sultans of the states in Malaysia. Now, they will take turns to become the king every 5 years. Okay, that's how the system goes. So it's not the king doesn't stay there for the rest of his life. You see, it's not a lifelong tenure as the king. He's only there for 5 years. After that, there will be another person who will replace him as the king. So, but I agree with you, Tuanku Sultan Abdullah is a down to earth person. Yeah, he's been noticed in not only in KFCs but also even in in restaurants in KL, and also in his home state of Pahang and so on, helping accident victims on the road and so on. So he's a down to earth person, and we like him also. So I think he has the wisdom to appoint Anwar Ibrahim as the 10th Prime Minister, based upon whatever evidence that he has. Anwar Ibrahim has the majority support of the MPs in Parliament.
Yes, and also I think we in South Africa we've got a lot to learn from Malaysia and your experience as far as coalitions are concerned. Because when we see there are disagreements in coalition governments, everything just falls apart. And this is where the king would come in. He would obviously address the issue, but also at the end of the day, in the interest of the country, in the interest of unity, in the interest that the government needs to be stable and the government needs to run. This is where the king's role is so important, Haji Badil Shah.
Yeah. You're correct. He has in this particular case, the king has announced specifically that he wants an inclusive government. He wants a government that will represent all the different backgrounds of people in Malaysia. All the religions, all the races. Because in Malaysia we have a society which is plural, a plural society. Majority are Malays who have Muslims, but there is a significant minority, about 30%, are made up of non-Muslims, which comprise of the Chinese, Indians, and also the other races. But in this particular case, the king wanted Anwar Ibrahim as the new prime minister to make sure his government represent all the different backgrounds of Malaysia, which I think is very good. And not only all the different backgrounds, but also all the different regions. Because we have Peninsular Malaysia, and we have the Borneo states, Sabah and Sarawak. So he wanted to make sure that even the Borneo state, Sabah and Sarawak, are also represented in this government, which I think is a very good way of doing things, in the sense that he wants to ensure that the government for his people, for the people of Malaysia, will be a government that is all inclusive, and also will be able to raise the voices of everybody. Nobody is going to be left behind in this particular context. So I hope Anwar Ibrahim will perform according to expectations, and that he will be able to bring together all these different backgrounds, different races, different religions, to build a strong Malaysia. Because I think it's also poignant here to point out that the world also will be facing probably an economic crisis in next year, in the coming years. So we need a strong and stable government in order to face this, overcome the crisis, build a better Malaysia, build a better country for everybody, inclusive.
Well, a better country, and also looking at Malaysia and its role as far as the Muslim world is concerned. And I think this is very, very important because Malaysia does play a very, very critical role as far as the broader Muslim world is concerned, Haji Badil Shah. And you mentioned Anwar Ibrahim. I said right in the beginning, I had the honor and the of interviewing him many years ago on another Islamic media platform. Inshallah, who knows? Maybe one day, as the Prime Minister, I'll get to interview him again.
Yeah, I hope you do so, because he's an international statesman in his own right. You see, he's been giving lectures all over the world, and he speaks English fluently. He's able to articulate his thoughts, his speeches very well. So I believe, I want to share this with Salam Media. I believe the appointment of Anwar Ibrahim, I think, will bring a new dawn. It will augur well for Malaysia in the future as well. We have a person who is respected not only in our country but also respected internationally, and that is important. As you have mentioned, Malaysia have played a big role on the international stage, especially for the Palestinian issue and for the not only for the Muslim but also for the non-Muslims who are downtrodden, who are underprivileged, and so on. We want this to continue, and I think Anwar Ibrahim will be able to do this. I hope he will perform well according to expectations and even beyond expectations, hopefully, and will also put Malaysia on the international stage to become the flag bearer of of Islam, the true Islam, the moderate Islam, the Islam that is rahmah, merciful for all the worlds, like Allah Taala mentioned in the Quran, wa ma asarna ka illa rahmatan lil alamin, become mercy, become compassionate for all the world. So I think I think Malaysia can play this role, and with Anwar Ibrahim at the helm, I hope that Malaysia will be able to play this role even better, and also to voice out the voices of the Muslims wherever they may be on the international stage, and also influence the outcome of the world currently.
Well, inshallah, Amin. And we say Amin to your du'as as well. And we make dua for you, Haji Abadil Shah, and also Anwar Ibrahim, and the people of Malaysia. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. And more importantly, we appreciate you taking time out, coming on and talking to us. And it's been an absolute pleasure, I must say, having you with us here on Salam Media this morning.
Pleasure's on me as well.
Assalamu
Thank
alaikum wa
you.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you again.
Inshallah. Haji Badil Shah Sham Bahrain joining us this morning and just providing an update. Anwar Ibrahim has now been appointed as the Prime Minister of Malaysia. The time is just gone 12 minutes to 9. Our next guest is on standby. We still have got quite a bit of ground to cover. And when we come back, we will be taking a look at the Coastline Cleanup Initiative by the Amazulu Football Club.